officially time for a new everyday makeup drawer, shop my stash video. I did a couple videos recently, and one of them is my 2023 project pan. So pretty much every one of these videos I make this year for the shop my stash, you're going to always see my project pan products in that segment. Just so I have them front and center and I can remind myself to continue using them, try and get through them as fast as possible. So let's get into it. I'm going to review everything that I've had with me these last couple months, and we'll go from there. If you're curious as to what is on my face, I can leave it linked down below. I have a lip color from Lime Crime. I love it, it's so pretty. And then the eyeshadow palette. Then the eyeshadow palette that I have on is a palette I bought during Black Friday, and it's the Serenity palette, and it's really pretty. I really have been enjoying it so far. This is my first time actually using the shadows and putting them on my eyes, and I don't know, I really like it. I think it turned out really well. Yeah, so let's dive in to everything I have so far and how often I've used it, how I'm feeling about the products, and if there's any that I didn't use. So let's get into it. So right away, I'm going to start with the eyeshadow palettes that I had. My biggest problem these past few months was I didn't give myself an opportunity to really dive in and play with makeup. I've had really sick kids, and like I said, between that and literally just giving birth to a whole human being, my time hasn't been my time. Like, I'm on baby time right now. I'm still on baby time. So the things that I normally like doing and that I get the chance to do every day hasn't been that steady. But anyways, the one eyeshadow palette I wanted was In a Trance from ColourPop. I really love these soft pastel type of colors. Both the shimmers and the mattes in here are some of my favorites. I personally really like the formula that's in these two palettes. This is the other one that I had for this Shop My Stash. It's the Aura and Out palette. This just has more of like a orange, green, blue type of color scheme to it instead of the pink, blue, and purple. I really have enjoyed both of these. I used them maybe twice. I would say I used them maybe twice, and I used them in conjunction with a third ColourPop palette, which is the At Forest Sight from Raw Beauty Christie. This one has a lot of deeper mattes in it, which pair really, really well with those two pastel palettes. There isn't really shimmers in here that I like pairing with just using this palette, so I really enjoyed using this palette in conjunction with another one, especially since this palette is so deep. I like using those pastel palettes to just brighten up a look just a little bit. Again, this is a formula that I did really enjoy from ColourPop. It's not available anymore, but it is one of them that I like and I use fairly often. This is the thing I'm kind of ashamed about. I created this number generated eyeshadow palette. I do this every time I do a Shop My Stash. Unfortunately, I did not get the opportunity to use this palette at all. I think I'm going to keep this color story around to actually try and get some use out of it. I just, again, I've been so busy, and I think I overestimate how much time I'm actually going to have to enjoy the things I used to enjoy, which is okay. You know, this is how my life is right now, and that's fine. But I need to give myself credit that sometimes the things I want to achieve, I'm not really going to be able to. But yeah, I didn't use this palette at all. Again, I might keep it for this next round. I haven't decided quite yet. I don't really want to do another number generated palette if I haven't used this one. So I might keep this one around and not break it down quite yet. Okay, so some more face base products. I had two bronzers in the Shop My Stash. This powder bronzer from Kylie Cosmetics. This is the shade Tequila Tan. This was the bronzer that was in my 2022 Project to Pan. Clearly, I didn't pan it. Really ended up not being able to use this. And obviously, I didn't hit pan in it. Me giving birth and moving had a huge impact on how often I use this, and I didn't get that far. I do use it quite often. Anytime I was reaching for a powder bronzer, I chose this one. It is a really good color option. This is the old formula from before they switched over to the parent company Coty. So I don't know how the new formula is for this bronzer, but I do like the color option. And again, I have the shade Tequila Tan. The other bronzer I chose was this liquid bronzer from Iconic London. I have the shade Beach Vibes. This is like the ultimate sheer bronzer, and it's a type of formula that I enjoy because it's not lifting up everything that I place underneath it. It's very liquidy and leaves you with just the right amount of color so that it looks ultra natural, which is the whole point of why I purchased this. I mean, even the name of it, it's called the Sheer Bronze. Like it's meant to be very, very sheer. There's a reason why the name is what it is. I do really like the color again. Knowing that it's supposed to be sheer, I do like how it performs and how it wears. It does look beautiful. If I want something a little bit more impactful, kind of like what I'm wearing today, I usually was laying this down first where I wanted it and then putting either like a powder bronzer over top of it or just a different type of cream bronzer just to give it more of that chiseled, deeper effect than just like naturally a little bit darker sun-kissed type of thing. Again, I do really like this product. Do be aware, it says it's a sheer bronze. It is very, very sheer. It's very sheer, but it is good. I do like it. Blushes. I chose 3. This one is from Half Cake Makeup. It's the In Sync blush, and I grabbed it in the shade No Strings Attached. This is their newest blush formula that Half Cake Makeup has come out with. This is the shade No Strings Attached. It's just a really like warm orangey brown type of color, really neutral, and it works really well. I think if you have oily skin and you want to be the type of person who gets down with cream and liquid products, this would be a really good option for you. It's not as hydrating, dewy, tacky as the candy paint blushes they have in the little heart compacts. I love those. Again, those are one of my like all-time favorite blush formulas, but this one's really good as well. A lot of really cute color options. I highly recommend it. It's very affordable too. So that is the color No Strings Attached. The second blush I picked up for this Shop My Stash was the e.l.f. Putty Blush. I have this one in the shade Bahamas. It's more of like a peachy orange type of color. Super pretty. I see a color like this and it's more of like a spring, summer, fall type of shade, not really something for winter time, but again, it's so pretty. I might have used this once. Again, I underestimated how often I was going to use makeup just in general. This is also a quite an interesting formula. I have been able to use it better than when I first started using it. It's a very cream to powder type of formula. It really does dry down kind of fast. So if you have more of like a very matte base down, it's going to be a lot harder to blend this in and make it look good. But if you know you haven't set anything down, if you have pretty like cream based makeup all around, this is a lot easier to maneuver on your face. It works really good with like a dense, almost like a dense foundation brush. Those are the types that I tend to prefer with cream bronzers and cream blushes. So again, it's a good color, really great formula. I've always liked it. The last blush formula I have is from Chanel. This is the Lip and Cheek Balm. I have it in the shade 2, Healthy Pink. This is probably the most similar formula of cream blush I have in my collection that relates to the candy paint blushes from Half Caked Makeup. So, I mean, obviously Half Caked Makeup is a literal fraction of the price of this one from Chanel. Obviously, I love this formula. It truly does remind me pretty much exactly like the Half Caked Makeup candy paint blushes. And that's the color, really pretty, kind of has a theme going on here. I love the color. It's one of their more like neutral tones in the line. And again, really pretty blush formula. I do really like this blush. It is very expensive. If you do like luxury products and you're the type of person to purchase luxury makeup, this would probably be a formula you like if you don't like a matte, dry face. So highly recommend it for people who already have like dry skin or looking for products that are more hydrating that don't dry out their skin even more. This is a great option. Highlight that I chose this from Aether Beauty. It's the Supernova Crushed Diamond Highlighter. I have it in the color Pure Diamond Dust. So this is what it looks like. It is ultra blinding. Wow, you can't even see it. Okay, it's not showing up well on my skin, but I have it on my face. So hopefully it translates better like on skin and you can see it a lot better. I can see it. So yeah, that's this one. It is one of my favorite powder highlighters, which is why I wanted to add it to this Shop My Stash. Every time I reached for a highlighter, I was reaching for this one. It's great. If you can find it, if you can buy it, I highly recommend it. It is truly a favorite of mine. Still have my Banana Boat sunscreen. The only reason why I have this in the Shop My Stash is because it is expiring at the end of January this month. So I am trying to use up as much of this as possible. I try and use it every day. It's probably the one thing that I've used the most often. It's getting low. No, I do not think I will finish it in time, unfortunately. But, you know, at least I'm trying. At least I'm trying to use it up. Primers that I put in the Shop My Stash are these guys. This is from Good Molecules and this is from Pixie Beauty. The Good Molecules silicone-free priming moisturizer. This is just a great everyday primer to use, especially if you've already done your whole skincare routine. It's been a while. This kind of just adds that extra boost of hydration that your skin really just might need to help with a better application of foundation or makeup or, you know, whatever type of product you're putting on your face. This guy I love. I use this quite often. I have actually quite a good gap in here now. It's in this, they market it as an essence oil, but it really feels like a priming oil to me, and that's the way I use it. I shake it up because it has kind of like 3 layers in it, and it is a very liquidy, extremely thin oil, and it just works so well as a primer on the skin. Everything that you put on top of it just looks so much better, especially person to person, like face to face. It looks seamless, makes your skin look so healthy and radiant and gorgeous. Again, it is an oil, so if you already have really oily skin, I don't know like how well you're going to like this, if that makes sense. All right, the only concealer that I put in the Shop My Stash was this one from Tarte. It's the Shape Tape Concealer. I have it in the shade Light Sand. I use this every time I put makeup on. I have it on today. It's just a solid concealer. There's a reason why it's always been a fan favorite. It is very full coverage, but it's also very seamless. It works with essentially any foundation or skin tint, whatever it is you put on your face. It works so well with everything. I use it on its own. I can sheer it out really well. It's an all-around phenomenal concealer. I love it. Yeah, and I've gotten a ton of use out of it. I'm truly, every single time that I've used makeup since I started this Shop My Stash, this has been pretty much the only concealer that I reach for. So yeah, okay. And 2 foundations. I grabbed the Purely's Ageless Glow Serum BB Cream. I have this one in the shade Light Warm. This is a really, really light colored product. So it works great for me right now in this cold winter month. I don't know how well it shows on camera. I sit in front of a huge window of mine, so it's kind of hard to tell like how warm my face looks compared to my chest. I have something different on my face right now than either of these products, so my chest is always so much lighter than literally any other part of my body. I mean, my arms match my face more than my chest does, but this is like so light. It really does match my face to my chest the best out of everything right now, and it's a very like hydrating type of formula, so I really like it. It's not too matte, it's not too like cakey or full coverage feeling. This one's also great. It's from Il Makiage. I've actually put a huge dent in this. I'm like down to here, which is surprising because I don't use like, I have so many foundations, so the fact that I have it that low is kind of crazy. It is a good foundation. It is a great medium coverage. It's a pretty liquidy foundation. My only gripe is recently when I've been using it, the pump does not work. It pumps out like 2 small pumps, and then I gotta sit there and pump and pump and pump. It's almost like I need to give it a break, go back to it in 10 minutes, pump again. Like the pump mechanism just doesn't expel the product anymore like it should. So it's kind of a pain in the butt. I mean, I know you can like twist this off and just scoop it out and swipe it on your face, but it's kind of a pain in the butt. Only issue with this product also right now is just a little too warm for me, but it was nice. I was able to mix it with this one to lighten it up slightly. But other than that, it's a really good product. It's just one that I was using more in the summer when my skin was just a hair warmer than it is now, a hair darker than it is now. Other than that, I've still been using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade, and then I grabbed my Half Caked Get Fluffed Brow Gel. This is in the shade 1, 2, one of them. The sticker fell off, so I can't remember the shade number. I think number 1 is clear, so this should be number 2. I think that's what it is. But anyways, this is the one that actually has like a tint to it. It's not just clear. It's a great color, great formula. This really gives me like fluffy looking brows, which I enjoy. Really good eye primer. It's from Sephora. It's the Boost and Lock eyeshadow primer. It's pretty similar to the one that I always liked from NARS that I used up over a year ago at this point. I like the doe foot applicator. It's pretty large and it's really comfortable to apply. Feels great, like it, works well. I threw in the Il Makiage liquid liner only because it's not my favorite. It's not dark enough for me, but the thing I do like about it is the tip is just so big. That's what she said. That's the only reason why I put it in there, and I'm just trying to use it up. It's open. I've been using it, so I don't want it to dry out on me. I had 3 mascaras in here. So the Ilia one is the Limitless Lash Mascara. It's the one with the funky looking wand. It kind of has 2 sides to the wand. This has always been my favorite, but this is so old, so I feel like I have to get rid of it. And honestly, same with this one from Deck of Scarlet. This is the Big Lash Energy, and it's a tinting mascara. It works great. I have it on today. I also have false lashes on. I'm not gonna lie to you and say that this is just mascara. It's not, but I do like how this makes my lashes look when I'm not wearing falsies. But yeah, this is great. I like it. I haven't found a place where you can buy it other than the Deck of Scarlet website, but I don't know, if you're shopping on the site, get this. It is really nice. I like it. Also, I like interesting wands, and this is quite an interesting wand in my opinion. So yeah, this one's pretty old though. I opened it and like right before summer hit, so this like has to go. It's past its prime, past 6-month use. This is from Lawless. I just opened this right before this Shop My Stash. This is the One and Done mascara. I don't like it. I don't like it. The wand is huge, like massive, but that's not my problem with this. My problem with it is it holds so much product in this wand, and the wand is very like bendy. Like this is not a stiff wand, and I think I need something that's really stiff so I can push every lash up as long as possible. This doesn't do that. It looks like the wand looks really spidery, and that's truly how it makes your lashes look. It makes them look spidery and clumped together, and I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. I might get rid of this. I haven't quite decided. Maybe I'll use it a couple more weeks just to say I used it. But yeah, I don't like this mascara. I really, really don't. Like lip products. I have a bunch of different like liners that I threw in just so I had something that would match like the lip products that I had on. These are obviously some of my go-tos because they're so tiny. This is Kylie Cosmetics Dolce K, and this is the L'Oreal Color Riche Matte shade Mating Call. It's the shade 114. It's a really good one. I don't know if you can still purchase this L'Oreal liner. I hope you can though, because it's one of my favorites. These 3 products were part of my Project Pan. I didn't finish any of them, obviously. I have 2 KKW X Kylie lippies, and then this is a gloss from Alley. They're fine. I like the Alley gloss more than the KKW X Kylie ones. These are just kind of off colors for me. They're not quite colors that I choose every day nowadays. And then the 2 other colored lip products I chose were these. They're really similar to each other. I have Caramel Collector, and I have, oh, okay. So this is the Maybelline shade Caramel Collector in their Super Stay Matte ink. This is one of my favorite like drugstore matte liquid lip formulas, but this was a new one that I had recently purchased. This is the NYX Professional Shine Loud, and I have it in the shade Boundary Pusher. Again, this is a really pretty color, pretty like everyday warm natural brown color. I like this formula a little bit more than this, I will say that, but this does last quite a long time, but so does this. They're both just as comfortable as the other, in my opinion. This stays kind of tacky, even though it doesn't transfer. This part dries down, but you put this like super thin clear gloss on top, and it's just like another way to have a glossy lip without it transferring the color, if that makes sense. It's an ingenious to me. I think it's a really genius formula, genius idea, because everyone likes matte lips because they're non-transferable. The color doesn't transfer, but gloss is really in right now, and if you put a gloss on pretty much any matte lip, it's going to transfer. So this is like a kind of ingenious way to have like the best of both worlds. Okay, so that was everything in my recent Shop My Stash little container. So let's dive in and pick out what I want to do this month and then the next few months coming up. Okay, so I want to start with the eyeshadow palette drawer. I'm going to take out all the single shadows here. So I'm gonna pick everything from here. This is still my numbers generated palette. I didn't want to take it apart only because I didn't get to use it last time, and I don't want to just give up on it and not ever use it. So I am going to keep it the way it is, and I'm not going to do another numbers generated palette this time. So I'm going to keep it like it is. I recently bought quite a few palettes from Black Friday and around Christmas time, so I want to pick a few of them. Now I still have an eyeshadow palette in my project pan for 2023, and if you haven't seen that, this is the palette that I chose. It's the Ebates Riviera palette. So I don't want to add too much in there because I really want to focus on finishing up this palette specifically, hitting pan in at least half of those shades. But I'm thinking I want to add this palette into the Shop My Stash. I think it'll go well with the Riviera, but it'll also go really well with the colors I have in that numbers generated palette. And it's one of my new palettes. I haven't gotten to use it yet. It's Ebates Flare palette, so I'm gonna add this and maybe one more, maybe like a small palette. I think as far as adding one more palette, I'll add this one. It's the Lawless, the Baby One palette. Just a good everyday neutral color palette, leaning more like red raspberry. Okay, so that's everything from my eyeshadow drawer. Let's go on to the next one, which is right here, and it is all of my blushes. These are all my powders over here on the right. I'm not going to add any of these because I have a powder in my project pan, but maybe I will add, no, I'm not going to add any right now. I really want to focus on my project pan one. So this all over here are all of my powder blushes. These are my liquid blushes, and then these three drawers are all of my cream blushes. So just like my eyeshadow palettes, I purchased a ton of blushes, and I really want to get some use out of those that I haven't tried quite yet. So I think one that I want to do is the ColourPop blush sticks. I have this one in the shade Aloha. That's Aloha, really pretty. And then I'm gonna add these two liquid blushes. This one is the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer Blush. I have it in the shade Coastline, and this is the CoverGirl All Over Dewy Tint Blush in Toasty Nude. I'll swatch them for you. So pretty similar color story, but still pretty. I like it. I did not purchase any powder blushes, so I think I'm good with just those three. Okay, this drawer is a literal hot mess. It is all of my highlights over here, and then my bronzers here. I think, I don't know, what am I gonna do for bronzer? I wanna choose my Milk Makeup cream bronzer. And then I think I'm gonna add the NARS Laguna powder bronzer as well. And then for highlighter, let's do the Good as Hell Mineral Baked Highlighter, and this is from Il Makiage. And then the Marc Jacobs Spotlight Glow Stick. I'm gonna add that as well. And then that's everything from this drawer. It is a huge mess. Everything is so messy and unorganized right now, so bear with me. Oh, before I forget, I do want to add this one as well. This is from Persona. It's the Highlight Multi-Stick, so I just bought it as well. I do want to use it. So this is just another drawer that's getting like insanely full. I do still have a sunscreen I'm trying to finish up. It expires in January. So I'm filming this at the end of January. so I'm probably not going to get a chance to fill it up. So I do want to pick another sunscreen, and I have 3 for whatever reason that are brand new. So it's these 3, I think. Yeah. So these 3 are brand spanking new, and I want to try them all. I need to try them all. But I think for right now, I'm just gonna put in this one from Good Molecules, just so I can kind of focus on it and get my thoughts around it. It is the Sheer Mineral Sunscreen SPF 30. So as far as concealers, I don't know what I want to do. I think I'm just going to focus on these 2 from Revlon. I still have a spray I'm trying to finish up, so I'm not going to pull anything quite yet. I think I'll wait another video because I'm almost finished with that, but I do need to pick a foundation. I have a foundation in my project pan, so I should only probably pick one more. And I think I'm going to pick this one from KVD Beauty. It's the Good Apple Foundation. I have this one in the shade Light 010. So I'm going to add this one in as well. So onto lip products. These are my glosses. These are my liquid lips. I want to pick something that's either neutral or cool toned. With glosses, I don't really have to worry about picking anything specific. But I might pick this one. This is from the KKW and Kylie line. It's the lip cream, and this is the shade Kiki. So I think I'm gonna pick this one. And then I might do this lip color. This is from Dose of Colors. This is the shade Nude Mood. Really pretty neutral color. I'm gonna add that as well. I haven't really given these a fair shot. This one, for whatever reason, is separating really bad, but this is the Makeup Revolution Matte Balm Liquid Lip, and this one is the shade Nude Allure. So I'm gonna add that as well. The only other thing I need to add, or that I will add, is like an actual bullet lipstick, and I have them in a carousel up on my desk, so let me show you them now. Okay, don't mind how messy my desk is. This is the little like everyday makeup drawer that I'm pulling my products from and putting them in. So this is that spray I was talking about. It's that KBD spray. I'm almost done with it, so I just want to keep working on it. And then this is the like carousel, the lipstick carousel I've been talking about. So I have it kind of in order from like not affordable or not easily affordable on this side. You can tell I have like Patrick Ta, Natasha Denona, Valentino, YSL right here, Merit, Charlotte Tilbury, Bite Beauty, which isn't a brand anymore, Give Beauty, ABH down here, and over here all my like more affordable lippies. So what do I want to do? I want to pull, actually I think I want to pull, that's gone grayish gray over it. I want to do gray over it. It's a really dark cool toned color, but it's gonna work really well with like all of the colors that I have. So I'm gonna pull this guy. And then actually I think the other one that I want to pull from, where is it at? Oh, NARS right here. This is one of my NARS lip sticky sticks. I don't know exactly what they're called. The Velvet Matte Lip Pencils. This is the shade Bahama. I love this shade. It's a really good shade. One of my favorites that's more neutral. So I'm gonna pull these two products in. And then that's everything. See, I have them like kind of over here. Some of the stuff I just pulled, lip products. And then I have my foundations and stuff. These are all the products that I have from my project pan. And then all the blushes, highlights, and bronzers that I pulled for this round. And then just some of the other products, like everyday products that I've been trying to use. My ABH, my lash enhancer serum, and then these mascaras that they need to go. They really do need to go. But I think I'm going to use a couple this month more, and then I'll be done with them. But yeah, that's everything. And then that's the lip gloss I'm trying to finish there. So hope that was interesting. I got my eyeshadow palettes up here. That is everything though. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.